Hello and welcome to another video. We're back at the train station, which means we're on another adventure, and with a weather front moving in across the UK, bringing wind and rain and picking up gradually towards the evening and overnight, I thought, why not book an overnight ferry with Stena Line from Harwich to Rotterdam. Now, of course, I never knew the weather was coming. If I would have booked it yesterday, it was dead calm, and if I would have booked it in 2 days from now, it would be dead calm. But no, I booked it today, so we're going to go on an overnight ferry over to Rotterdam from Harwich. We've just got to get there first, get over there, check in. I've got a cabin booked, and we're going to see what the journey's like and if it's a good way to get over to Holland. We're going to have fun. Let's get going. So that's one train down. We've got one more to go to Harwich, and it's on the opposite platform. Let's get on board, eh? So let's make sure it's the right one. Harwich Town, Harwich International. Now this is what you call a quiet train. Almost a ghost train. Stena operate two ships on this line, the Stena Hollandica and the Stena Britannica. Both ships are identical. The lower decks for vehicles got cabins, and then the higher decks you've got some cabins and any restaurants, duty frees, whatever else they've got. We'll have a look when we get on board. We try and get outside to see what they've got outside. Hopefully the weather holds off, because it's going to be a rough crossing. I hope not, but it looks like it's certainly going to be a wet crossing. But if the weather holds off, we'll get outside, have a look around, see what's there. Now, I can't wait for this one. I've got an inside cabin. They ran a promotional fare for 15% off for last minute bookings. I booked that, as long as I travel in the next 2 months, I booked that, and yeah, I say 15%. I booked it to travel in 3 weeks. But no outside cabins left, only inside cabins. But we're going to see what that's like. It's a nighttime journey anyway, so even if I had a porthole to look out of, you wouldn't see anything, so I'm not too fussed about that. We're going to get to Harwich International Terminal, go through all the formalities, film as much as I can. Cruise ports don't really like filming too much. You can go to an airport and film what you like, go up to the aircraft and film the aircraft, but you go to a cruise port, they don't like it. But we're going to film as much as we can. Let's get to Harwich International Terminal, and we shall get some views of our ship as we arrive into the station. Oh, and as I mentioned, make sure you subscribe. There's plenty more coming up. On this trip alone, I've got 3 videos. Tomorrow we're going to be taking another city tour, and the next video, another form of transportation. You're going to like that one. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, make sure you don't miss anything. You'll help the channel out loads. I'd appreciate it.
Next station, Harwich International.
Okay, so the next station is Harwich.
Welcome to this service for Harwich Town. We will be calling at Harwich International, Dover Court and Harwich Town.
Okay, so the next station is Harwich International. That's our stop. Let's
the next stop will be Harwich International.
That's what I said. Let's get off the train, and then we'll get into the terminal. Hopefully we'll see a good view of our ship while it's there as well. So here we are at Harwich International. We've got to get over to the ferry terminal over the other side. We'll see if we can see our ship too. Not long to go now, and hopefully we'll get on board. And I hope this weather holds out. I'm looking forward to this. Let's go. And there's the Stena Britannica. See all the cabins. Helicopter pad. These are the more bigger staterooms, and you've got the captain's cabin. I think it might be at the back actually, but I'm in the middle there somewhere. And this is the cruise terminal, not very big, but lovely and clean and warm. Okay, so I made it into Harwich International Terminal. The ferry's not here yet, it's going to be here in a minute. I'm going to try and film it when it arrives. Check-in opens in an hour, so we're going to get our room key and our voucher for breakfast in the morning. Paid extra for that, £13, so we're going to get up nice and early and see what that's like. Yeah, as I say, the ferry's going to be here soon. I'll try and film that, get our keys, get on board and get going. There's a nice picture for you. The Imperial War Museums of Duxford, and this is the American hangar. I'm a member of the Imperial War Museums. I might do a video about all the museums one day, but make sure you go there, support them, fantastic. So if you go on to Marine Traffic, the app, and then we have Harwich there and Felixstowe there, and this blue one here is our ship, and if you press that, the Stena Hollandica, and there she is, looking splendid. It's got a draft of 6.1 meters. Anyway, it's nearly here, so not long to go now. Okay, so we're through security. We're about to walk on the gangway up to the ship, and we're going to go and find our room, get rid of this heavy backpack, and we're going to explore the ship, I think. Here we go. At least we're going the right way, and there's our ship, looking rather fantastic, with all the heavy cargo going on. There she is, the Stena Hollandia. Sorry, the Stena Hollandica even. But enough of that, let's get on board. Wow, that is a big boat. No wonder it's called a super ferry. It's a big old boat. Here we go, about to step on board. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello mate.
Hi.
You alright?
Good. Yeah. Yeah, like 11 going up. Thanks. Yeah, welcome, sir. That's 11, sir. That's 11.
Okay, so here we are. Deck 10, 120. Now, how does this work? Like that. There we go. Okay, let's put everything down. Okay, so welcome to my cabin with deck 10, room number 120. So when you get into the room, the power key card's there, so you just push that down for the power to come on. You have your stairs there for the top bunk, which you'll see in a second. A little desk with 2 European power sockets, 1 British, and your phone. There's a picture of a gorgeous man there, and an even better picture of a gorgeous man there. Back on the desk you have your remote for your TV, and then you've got a sofa, bedside table with the European power socket, a mirror to give you a feeling of having a porthole. This is an inside cabin. You've got your 2 beds, bunk beds there, which is handy because I'll have the other pillow from there to add to that, and that should make me nice and comfortable. And yeah, this is an inside cabin on the Stena Hollandica. As I say, I booked this last minute. It was 15% discount if you travelled within the next 2 months, so I booked it, I took that offer. They had no outside cabins left, but you can get cabins, outside cabins single, accessible cabins, cabins with double beds, family rooms. You can get, I can't remember if it's captain's room or class, which is a big room at the front. They get snapped up pretty quickly. But yeah, there's a selection of rooms. This is a single inside cabin. What more do I need? Oh, and I forgot, I never showed you the bathroom. So let's have a look in here. You've got your toilet, a sink there. It's quite big, it's bigger than I thought it'd be. And a nice shower there. You get shower gel, hand soap, and the essentials. But in the morning I've got breakfast booked. They do an announcement, I think it's at 6 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. They want everyone out of the cabins an hour before you get into port. So I'm going to get up a little bit earlier than that anyway, because I've got breakfast booked. It cost me £13, so we see what that's like in the morning, and I can get some daylight footage, hopefully, around the ship. But for now, I'm just going to unpack a couple of bits, and then we'll go for a walk, and we'll see what we can find on board the ship. And that gives you a sense of scale as to the size of the ferry. Look how far these rooms go. This is guest services. Here we have the family hub. Games. And you've not got one, but you've got two duty-free shops. They're not open yet because we haven't set sail yet. So you've got one and two duty-free shops. They're not open yet because we haven't set sail, but they'll be open once we set sail. You saw guest services at the end with a small coffee shop. Through here we've got the bar and restaurant, and I believe this is where breakfast is in the morning.
That'll be €5 a meal. Can you invite you over the side, sir? Yeah, sure.
So this is where you'll get breakfast in the morning. This is a social area with a bar, so you can get a drink there. But the arcades there, they're shut. More stairs there. And let's go outside. It's open. Don't think it's open. Oh, here we go. Whoa, it's windy. So this is the seating area outside. I think I'll turn on the microphone. Okay, so we're out on deck. Let's have a little look around. There's not much to see over there. You can just see the last of a sunset over there. I don't know if the camera picks it up very well. That's just water in front of us. Over there you'll see the Port of Felixstowe with the massive cargo ships there. My son and I, we've done a video of leaving Harwich just the next stop on the train up from here, we went across to Felixstowe on the harbour ferry, and we went to Landguard Fort, and then we went out a beer in the world's smallest pub. So if you haven't seen that, check that one out. But let's have a look at this outside deck space on this Stena Line. It's nice and quiet, so we can have a look around. So this is deck 10, I think it's one I'm on, or 11. I think this is 11. Let's have a look. So we've got some benches for sunnier days, not today, and out there on the deck below you can see the cage there, and that's outside football and basketball. Whoa, windy. Down there is a cage playing football and basketball. Whoa, that is windy. Down there's the vehicle deck. You can see the coalerizer there. That's what stopped us leaving. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say that's what stops the Stena Line ship docking. One of the words I'm looking for. That's right there. Around here you've got the identical thing there. Up there is the more exclusive cabins on deck 12 there, and the bridge. They're the double bed cabins, and you've got the Commodore one, the captain's one, somewhere around here. But this is what these bigger windows are up there. Let's go down and look at the deck below. Oh my, that is windy. On deck 10 you've got some more seating over there, and then we come around the corner. Hopefully the wind has stopped for a second as we go around. Oh, this is not the same, this is more industrial. Let's go back round. Oh, I keep thinking things are blowing out of my pocket. Whoa. Oh, sorry mate. Now we go down to deck 9 as we get a break from the wind at this lower level. Let's go down in front of us. What we got over here? Oh my goodness, at least you get a break from the wind here. So this is deck 9. There's a crow's nest up there. You've got the vehicle deck there. Now some people might not like that noise, but yeah, that's the vehicle deck. This is the cage I was telling you about that's got the football and the basketball in there if you want to go and play. That's where this is. Wow, I know this is what you consider to be a super ferry because of the amount of beds and the amount of cargo it takes. But it's not very well lit really. Maybe they'll light it up a bit more when we leave. And there's an outside smoking area there. As we go back round, we've got an outside cafe there, but that's shut. Back round to where we were, where we came down the stairs over there. So that's the outside on Stena Hollandica. Actually it's the same on Britannica, but let's get back in and out of this wind. We've got to wait for this door to shut before this one opens. back inside. This is a nice warm place to sit. Wow. Let's sit in the corner. Catch our breath. That is windy out there. Let's see if we can see some of the prices. So that massive bag of M&M's there is £9.50. But I bought some chocolate because I think ahead. Here's a PlayStation for the kids. Or me. Nah, my son, not me. There's another kids area. Guest services in the Brewster bar. Let's go the other way. Oh no! This is where you have breakfast in the morning. This is the breakfast area. You've got the restaurant here, breakfast area. This is where it is here. And this is the front of the ship. And there they are, still loading lorries. Got a while to go yet, so there's going to be quite a few. Let's see how busy this gets. But this is the breakfast area and the restaurant area. Over here is the Stena Plus Lounge. It costs £35, I think, to get in there. Let's have a sneak peek. That's the Stena Plus Lounge, but we don't need that, we're sleeping. Okay, so I've got myself a beer, a pint of Heineken, €5.80. €5.80. Very cheap for a ship, very cheap for a beer these days, but I'm going to enjoy that and get back to the room. Okay, so back in the room now. There's one thing to add. The keys for the doors, your cabin key, is made of paper, so you must be very careful with that. There's a perforated edge on it as well. I'm not sure if that's the breakfast part of it, I don't know, but yeah, everything's on the cabin keys. A paper ticket, so be careful with that. Back in the room now, so I'm going to set my alarm, get up early, get a look around the ship, hopefully in the daylight before breakfast, and we'll get breakfast and see what that's like. Yeah, time to go to sleep. It's been a long day, a lot of travelling, a lot of waiting around too. So see you in the morning, and we'll catch up there. Night night, love you.
Good morning. It is now 6:30 local time. Our Chase restaurant at the forward end of deck 9 is now open for breakfast.
Okay, so good morning. That is one comfortable bed. It's a couple of pads for the mattress, but it's fantastic. It's lovely, comfortable. I was just right in here because you've got your climate control up there. I had no problem. I woke up for about maybe an hour in the middle of the night because this weather front that's moving in, the seas were quite rough and you could feel the movement of the boat even though we had the stabilisers out. But yeah, if I was more used to being on ferries, I reckon I'd step through that. But yeah, an hour in the middle of the night. But nevertheless, they've made the announcements. Breakfast is ready. Let's go and get some, shall we? And that gives you an idea of we're just over off the Caesar. Okay, so we're not quite at Rotterdam yet, still got a way to go, about an hour. And I've got breakfast. So this is the breakfast grill. It's a smaller one out of the two. There's a lot here. Orange juice, coffee, toast. Looks nice. £13. So I paid more than that for less before. So yeah, it's a good deal. Okay, so we're coming into Rotterdam. You can see the eyesore of the wind farm now. And this is what we couldn't see last night. Let's go for a walk, eh? It's very slippery, this deck, and it's raining. I need to put my hat on in a minute, but you can see Europort in Rotterdam there. Whoa! Far too wet, far too windy. I'll stay this side. Let's go upstairs. The things I do to get footage for the video. Pouring down with rain. Okay, so here's the upper deck. I think this is deck 11. You can see Rotterdam Europort there, and you find some of the larger boats in there. We'll be there in probably docking in about half an hour, I'd say, maybe 40 minutes. Not long to go now. Okay, so that was Stena Line from Harwich to the Hook of Holland. Yeah, a more relaxed way to travel to Amsterdam and Rotterdam, only an hour apart. Price wise, yeah, it can be cheaper than flying to Amsterdam or Rotterdam. On the overnight ferry it's probably about the same, but certainly more relaxed. I enjoyed that. You wake up in the UK and you go to sleep in the UK and wake up on the continent. It's pouring down outside. I've got the day in Rotterdam, that's for the next video, but I hope you liked that. I certainly did, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, bye bye.